in showing others a pathway to success and then helping them to walk that path. It gives them something to strive for and can help you have a fuller life. So I thought that fit in real good. Another one that came to me last night. The opposite of hope is despair. Let's try not to have too much despair in our lives. If you know somebody that is in that situation, go up, talk to them. Be a counselor for them just as a person. You don't have to know much about.
Please join me in the Scout Oath, Law, and Outdoor Code. On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country. Today is Scout Law. To help other people at all times, keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. As an American, I will do my Alberto is our field director. Alberto is Evie and Asher's boss. So welcome. How many service units are units? Districts. Very nice. Okay. Even though we've mentioned he's a paid scouter, we do need some volunteers. We need some unit commissioners, some roundtable commissioners, district activity planning, and finance chair is no longer open. That is now Clay Roberts. Thank you. And then district membership support. So you can just send that to Bill Kohler or Ross Billows, who both unfortunately are not here tonight. Tonight's agenda, Cub Scout Breakout, I believe it's still a spring recruiting. It is indeed. Scout BSA Breakout is every scout deserves a trained leader. So we'll be talking about that. And then we will get into the big rock, which is online resources. So right now it's up to John. We need have a safety moment.
Good evening. I'm John Dawson. I'm going to do the safety moment tonight. This is nap on safely. Look at that young man. He's having a great old time napping. Boy, I wish I could have done that this afternoon because I felt a little tired just driving down here. Next slide. All right, how long should you nap? Well, if you nap for 6 minutes, that'll help your memory. It's not quite enough. 10 to 15 will help improve your focus, but the NASA nap is probably what y'all really should be thinking about. 26 minutes is the optimum time. These NASA scientists have figured this thing out. And what it'll do is you'll increase your performance by 34% and your alertness by 54%. How they came up with those numbers, I don't know, but someone must have slept on it. If your nap is 40 to 60 minutes, you'll probably wake up groggy and cranky. Maybe that's my problem. I oftentimes will sleep midday and I say, oh, too long. It's like, oh my goodness. Now, if you sleep 90 minutes, that's your typical sleep cycle. That will definitely produce and boost your creativity, and you'll help catch up on lost sleep, but 90 minutes is a bit long. Maybe you don't have that sort of time. Now, if you're out there at a camp, at a camp out, or if you're at summer camp, the 26-minute nap is really good to do in the afternoon between 1:30 and 3 o'clock, because that fits your circadian rhythm. Consider the siesta. I mean, a lot of folks in other countries take a nice little nap during that time, and we here could increase our productivity substantially by at least 33% if we took a nap at work. But that is not really considered a good idea. Yeah, you're being lazy. No. Siestas are great. Please consider it. Now, where should you do this at? Pick a safe place that can be darkened a little bit. If you can't darken it a little bit, consider putting a hat over your face or some sort of eye covering. Lay down instead of sitting up, because if you're sitting up in a camp chair, oftentimes your head will go bump like this and you end up with a crick in your neck. That happens to me an awful lot at sitting on the couch in the afternoon. I'll just start nodding out and I'll wake up, my neck starts hurting, which means you'll need some vitamin I as in ibuprofen, probably, to get rid of that. Set the timer to 26 minutes. Now, adults only, this is not for kids, consider the power nap. Drink a cup of Joe before you go lay down. When you wake up, you'll feel energized above and beyond that 34 and 54%, because it's been proven by a lot of college students that this is a way to do it. You take a nap by drinking your cup of coffee first, taking a nap, boom, you're ready to go for the afternoon session. And it'll also help as an adult with those evening campfires. Health benefits, really, this is probably the big thing about napping. It'll help with weight loss because you won't have that urge for those, comfort foods in the midday like I did today. It'll help your cardiovascular system by lowering your blood pressure. It'll also could help with diabetes, lower your insulin levels and cortisol levels. And with lowering the cortisol levels, it'll also reduce stress and anxiety. So consider the nap in the afternoon and do it laying down safely for 26 minutes. Thank you.
I have a recliner at home, a love seat. I take the recliner, I take the pillow on the recliner, put it behind my head on the wall. It's a perfect nap. Just a fun fact. Do you know tonight there's a blood moon and a total lunar eclipse? So what do you need? You need a clear sky. You don't need any glasses, but it's from 12:26 to 1:31 tonight. So if you got your nap in the daytime and you're ready, you can go and maybe see the total lunar eclipse, which is, I think, full is around 1:15-ish. So we have some announcements. Now, all the announcements that you're hearing on the rolling announcements and on these, we are putting them on a PDF. They are on the Google Calendar. And then what we are doing is we are making sure they're up there, and it's also accessible from our Black Feather site. So there's one announcement I really want to make. There's a new Eagle Scout application as of January. It has a couple things. It's still, the main thing that it changes is there's no categories. There's only 4 references asked for. There's, and actually parents are now discouraged because everybody knows they're going to give your kid a good review. So for this reason, they have gotten rid of the categories. They're still asking up above some suggested categories as I looked at it. So I wanted you to know that. And Guide to Advancement is also updated to 2025. There's a new merit badge that just started. It's the multi-sport, kind of like Ironman. So take a look. And I wanted to, this was announced, but we never really put it up here. So our district award of merit winners are Randa Kelton, congratulations. Jared Reese, and our new finance chair, Clary Roberts, who's not here tonight. So, but here,
which is really special. We had a awards dinner last night through the council where we honored Silver Beaver winners or honorees. This is the equivalent of that for our district. So that's what I wanted to share is it's a significant honor.
Yeah, the Silver Beaver is for council. And then Johnny also got John R. Coleman Award, and there was a distinguished Commissioner Award as well.
Somebody standing up there last night as well.
Yeah, I felt very humbled last night. And our buddy Andy Rao got Silver Beaver too. So the reason I brought this up is because the district award nominations are, everything's been sent to the council to have it put in. We're going from double knot to a new system. So our hope is that we can get this all in. We have a little bit of time, but this is the date to keep in mind. Our May roundtable will be when these will be awarded. Yes.
It is live to register for as of this morning on Blackbot, our new system.
Okay. That's great, except I couldn't find it. Okay, and so we will get the link and we will put it into these announcements. Yes. Yeah. Right. Not a lot of units are here into these announcements. That we want the units to start looking at these announcements. Yes. Yeah. Right. Not a lot of units are here, to repeat what Andrew's saying. So what our goal that we want the units to start looking at these announcements. We used to have, yes. Yeah. Your sheet of paper. So so we have upcoming the Cub Scout Pinewood Derby. It's set for Saturday, April 12th, right? And it's registration is live right now, so it's open to anybody, pretty much any Cub Scout. Yeah. Yeah. So what we're trying to do is also use this as a recruitment tool, if you think about it. And then the week prior to that is Rocky Mountain Train Show. So there will be, I believe, a merit badge for that. They're looking for Scout and Scouter volunteers, and that is, I believe, up at the National Western Complex. So, and then we have some emergency service training events. April 2nd is backcountry, and April 5th is boating safety. And then don't forget that ham radio is first and third Sundays every month. Okay, we are looking at recruiting. So Jared's helping run this event. It's a free Scout Day at County Line BMX. It's going to be on May 3rd and May 10th. So please promote this with your units to get scouts and those that want to be scouts there, correct?
Yeah, so this one is bring a friend is strongly encouraged. All they need to do is bring a bike helmet. There should be bikes to borrow. If they want to bring their own bike, they're welcome to. They need a bike helmet. They need closed-toed shoes and long pants. And they can come out and ride on the official BMX track as much as they want. There's going to be some experts there to show them how to do it and talk about BMX. Should be an absolute blast. Great event to get your kids out there, do some fun stuff, have some activity you don't have to plan, and then really trying to promote that as a bring a friend event. Get some more kids involved in scouting as well.
So after they do this, we have another idea for them. We're going to do a spring red carpet event. It's going to be the Thursday after Roundtable. No, 2 Thursdays after Roundtable. So it's going to be May 22nd. Highlands Ranch will be here at St. Luke's. Parker will be at Parker United Methodist Church. And we're still looking at Castle Rock to make sure that we have a location, but we're working on it. And please be on the lookout for the exact time of when we're going to do this. But this is to promote scouting for Cub Scouts, for Boy Scouts, Scouts, BSA, Scouting America. It's to promote everything.
So this one,
Is
we're focusing on kind of transitioning our fall red carpet event to the spring. So what we'd love to have is troops come out the way you normally do in the fall with a trailer with some fun activities so that we can get all the Cub Scouts who are currently Webelos, rising AOLs, to come visit and meet the troops so then they can hang out through the summer and do all the cool, fun outdoor activities with the troop through the summer instead of meeting them in the fall and then you're right into winter and there's not a lot to do. So that's the idea here. Yes, Andrew.
Right, troops, like me, right? You guys should really bring like a calendar of summer events with you that you can hand out on a flyer, right?
That's an excellent idea.
All right.
So it's not for incoming cubbies.
This is for
Okay.
Webelos who are going to be AOLs starting June 1st.
Okay. So we have Cub Scout Day Camp. It's 2 days, according to the calendar. June 5th and 6th, 8:30 to 4:30. It's at Crest Hill Middle School in Highlands Ranch. And if you register by March 31st, it's only $15. So I'll leave this slide up so you can go take a picture. Yes, take a friend. Yes. Thank you.
We were wondering, previously there's like a requirement of how many adults per kids.
Chaperone, how many adults per kids?
Yeah.
1 per 5 to 8 scouts. Mm-hmm.
And if your scouts are not the same age, like if you're going to have like a couple kids, in different den groups, and so they're going to be, splitting off into different groups, do you have to have an adult that goes with each set of kids?
They try to keep the dens together. I'm repeating for... Okay, so activity levels for all ages. They try to keep the kids together. And if you get above 8 cubbies, they really want a second adult. And honestly, if I would think with cubs, once you get to 6, you'd probably want that second adult, really.
Hey, Wayne, one more question.
Yes,
Sorry.
one more question.
Because it came up at the PAC 870 committee meeting this week. I told the parents I doubt it, but I figured I'd ask for their benefit. Being that it's at Crestone Middle School, we're not going to be doing BB guns, right? That's what I thought. Yep, that is exactly what I expected. So thank you. Oh, another one.
And just to remind everybody, with the policy changes in the last few years, if your youth is a lion or tiger, their parent must be present with them there. So remember to factor that in where you're trying to get all of your adult coverage. We are asking for walking leaders this year to not be youth, that it be a registered adult being walking leaders to help take the youth from station to station for YPT reasons. So,
Okay.
thank you.
So, thank you. That's a very excellent point. So, and by the way, since it is at Crest Hill Middle School, we will be able to use their bathrooms. No porta potty. You know, that's actually a pretty big thing. Okay, so we have some trainings coming up. Randy is our training chair. And so May 2nd and 3rd, we have Baloo. For those, Baloo is basic adult. Basic adult outdoor. Okay. I've taken it, but it was last century, or it feels that way. And then IELTS is Introduction to Outdoor Leader Skills for Scouts BSA. So please take a look at these. Do you have a location for May 9th up in North? Okay.
I'm not sure Kathy reported it yet. They
Okay.
put their registration in Black Plug as soon as you got it.
Okay. Keep a lookout.
Registration will be open soon, but it is open now.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
All the details for all of these times and locations will be in the district Google Calendar with links to Black Pug and everything else as soon as we have them.
The IELTS training that you can take if you go to PV,
Yeah.
does that count?
Yes.
It does. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I was just checking.
So you can take it during summer camp? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Certain weeks it's offered at summer camp. Okay, that's perfect. And please make sure if they give you a certificate or any information, if they do, please bring that with you so we can make sure it gets recorded in case it gets missed. So we want you to be IELTS trained.
And one more thing on Baloo, for pack leaders, if you are needing a leader in your unit and you have a parent who is willing to step up and go be Baloo trained, if they will contact me after they register, Blackfeather District will get them reimbursed as a way of saying thank you for stepping up and being a trained pack leader, because that's something we desperately need more of in the district. We are the only district to currently offer that in all of Scouting Colorado.
Cool. Okay, we have some wood badge. That's what some of these beads are. Andrew has it, the neckerchief. So there's still some slots open. We want you to know they're trying to save the antelope patrol. So that means that's the 8th animal, 8th critter and wood badge. And right now they got enough for 6 or 7, but not enough for the antelope. Got to save the antelope. And then Leanne Grubb, who's from Blackfeather, her course is this fall in August and September. Yes. Okay, so March 28th through 30th, and then April 12th and 13th. So it is all day Friday, and the second weekend is Saturday and Sunday. So the first weekend is Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You stay there all this during that time. And it's actually it's an awesome course. It helps you with communicating, helps you understand conflicts, how to resolve them. It helps you, it's a mini MBA course in a lot of ways. So, and then at the end of it, you'll be given something to work on, and you have 18 months to complete that. August 22nd and 24th, and 6th and 7th. And then National Youth Leadership Training. This is the Wood Badge course for our youth, basically. So it's the youth, train the youth. It's for a week. And it is from Sunday to Saturday. And they stay at Peaceful Valley at Magnus. And we have some great Scoutmasters. And to be honest, a bunch of them are from, we got a few from Black Feather, too. Yes, ma'am? Okay, there will be one link troop each week. So what that means is the link troop, like I am the link troop Scoutmaster, one of two. Link troop is, there's a few girl patrols and a few boy patrols. So there's a Girl Scoutmaster and a Boy Scoutmaster. That's a link troop. So we have like double the staff. And so, and it's, we are already working on the course. We've been working on it probably since October. No, I'm sorry. You send your youth. Your youth go. If you are first class and 13 years old, if you are first class, 13 years old, you can send your scout. I did not answer your question. I think it's $360.
Wait, sorry.
$375.
The question was if it's something you attend as a troop, like summer camp, or if
No.
it's something individuals
No,
would
this is
attend.
individual, and you are recommended by your Scoutmaster to go. So, sorry, I misunderstood that question. But that is really what that is about. And it really, if you sent your scout, they'll come back different. And I mean that. They will come back more enthused. A lot of times they come back more respectful, too. Yes, John?
Basically, NYLT, for those of you that don't know it, is junior leader training. It is for that scout that you want to be a leader in your unit. I took it in 1966 out in Detroit, and here it's Wood Badge for the scouts.
Okay. Yes.
Are you still accepting any
I actually do. Well, if your youth are you still accepting youth staff? And to be honest, if they've already done NYLT, then yes, there is a possibility. There's only a few positions open. One of those positions is a troop guide for the girls. So we do need a girl on week 3 for, as far as I know, for that position. So there might be some. In week 3, our session 3 is July. So, yes.
My home unit would offer the opportunity to reimburse part of the costs for NYLT to scouts that would do a presentation based on what they learned at our troop meeting. So something to consider, help reduce the costs, and you get really great trained leaders. So thank you.
And we're working on getting some scholarship situations going too. So I think that's that. Order of the Arrow, very quickly, April 16th, May 14th, and spring induction. The Coney weekend is May 2nd through 4th, and that will be at Peaceful Valley. And then the dues are available to be paid at tohosa.org. Okay, I think we've hit all the... V, any more?
Sorry,
Get
Alberto
those
had me
investment in
distracted.
character and fall recruitment and spring recruitment planning meetings going? B, you're up.
Awesome. Hi, everybody. I'm Evie, if you don't know me. How are you all? Perfect. I love that. You're so lively. My things tonight, fall recruitment planning meetings. We are already starting to roll out with PACs. So if you are in a PAC and you have not had a sit-down Key 3 meeting with your Key 3 and whoever is your recruitment chair with Asher or myself, please contact your DE. We'll be sending out an email probably this next week on that, trying to get those all rolled out and coordinated so we can start planning in advance for fall recruitment for PACs. Our biggest things that we have right now is our investment in character presentations. Investment in character is huge. Blackfeather has more units signed up than last year, but we still have a large number of units not signed up. We have the largest number of units not signed up of any district currently. And I like to think Blackfeather is the best district, and we're better than that. So if your unit is not signed up, you should have received an email or multiple phone calls from your DE. Please get back with Asher and myself on that so we can get you on the board. Having an investment in character presentation is a required metric for getting your unit's 5-star status. And then camp cards. If your unit got camp cards, congratulations. You can pick them up here tonight. I am at the back sitting at that table where Jared currently is. Jared, wave your hand. There you go. Please come see me and I can check them out to you and get you all set up for success with camp cards this year. That's really all I got, Wayne.
Perfect. Next roundtable is April 3rd. It's a week earlier than this week, so I want you to be aware of it. Jared will be helping doing this next time, and so will John. I will be away in California. So the club leader breakout will be summer activity planning, and then we're going to talk about weather safety, and that's more than just cold weather camping, just so you know. And then the big rock will be adult leader transition. Recognition. What did I say? Transition. I'm in the transition. Okay, so right now we're going to go into online resources, which will be Greg. And as I hand this off to him, this is his only slide, so take a picture of that. And I
All right. Okay, this is the audience participatory version. Go back to the QR code for a sec. Okay. Everybody take out your phones, please. Awesome. Or a camera, but a phone will do. I want you to take a picture of the QR code that's going to come up. Now, I've been told I have to be under an hour, so I'm just kidding. So, actually, and I should have hit start. I have 10 minutes, but I think I can do it in 5. I am not gonna, this is a list of online resources for the council, for the district, and, okay. So, what I did was, I put together a bunch of URLs, and part of what I wanna do is, if you have suggestions, if you have stuff that you want me to add, please let me know, and I will add that to our URL document. All right. Sorry. All right. Okay. So while they're doing that, I'll let you know, the way I broke this out is I have it by sort of things that are everybody, not specific to troops, packs, ships, or crews. And then I have stuff that is specific to a troop, specific to a pack, specific to a ship, which is Sea Scouts if you haven't done that yet, or a venturing crew. Do we have it? All right, yay. Okay, so scroll down, and then I want everybody to take a picture of the QR code, or the link, which is tinyurl.com/whatever. Yeah, take a picture of that. Awesome. Can everybody see it? I don't know if I'm in the way. Can you see it from there? Yay. So the idea is to give you a list of resources. Now, a lot of people asked tonight about, oh, what about that BMX thing? I have a link in here. What about that, what about NYLT? I have a link in here. I don't have a link to NYLT Academy, but I have a note to add that. That's something special. But yeah, so let's, did everybody get a picture? So afterwards, you can go to that URL. And if you have anything to add, email us at, it's going to be hard to remember, blackfeatherdistrict@gmail.com. So, and if you go to the link, the email address is in there. So do you want to start? Are you at the top now? I think you are. So I'll just go through a few of these. So for national, I have the national website, online training. All our leaders need to be trained. High adventure camps. There's 4 that are sort of the official high adventure camps, but there's other stuff too. Talk to Christine Lux about Seabase. That's kind of fun. So I have links to that. I have a link to the National Scout Shop as well as our Council Scout Shop. For troops, I have links to program stuff. So you say you're a Scoutmaster and you're like, well, I'm looking for something to do with my troop, or the patrols, maybe have a competition. Well, there's a link to that. Go to Troop Leader Resources. There's team building. There's NAIL, Aaron on Scouting. NAIL is it's kind of like NYLT. It's for youth leadership that are Scouts BSA and above, but it's a national course. So keep going down. We have PACs, the Scouts BSA, Cub Scouts, Advancement, Cub Scout Adventures. Like Aaron on Scouting, there is a Cub Scout chat, which is a resource for you Cub Masters, Assistant Cub Masters, Den Leaders, to help you with your units. Scroll on down. Can you scroll down a little bit? Okay. All right, stop. OA, so for those that don't know, OA is, do you have to be 14 and above or just first class, or what's the age? Anybody? Brendan? First class? Okay. So Order of the Arrow is a Scouts BSA and above thing, but I have the link to the national site, and I also have farther down a link to the council and to our chapter. There's high adventure tracks. If you're in OA, you can actually go to a high adventure camp and you work the camp for a week, and then you attend for a week. It's a lot of fun, and the cost is greatly reduced. Venture crew and Sea Scout crews, or ships, I put crews, but it's really ships. I have the manuals, I've got resources. Keep going. All right. Now this is council specific. Our council website, council calendar. I do have the district calendar. When you get to the district section, unit fundraising, scout shop, Colorado Adventure Point, Wood Badge, that's the leadership training that we talked about, and a link to the Wood Badge site. We do have special needs scouting support, and so you'll find a link to there and there. Awards nominations, we just had the Silver Beaver dinner. Again, congratulations to Kathy, to Wayne, and to Andy Rao. Thank you. Scouting for Food, Be a Scout. Your unit should have an entry on Be a Scout. It's a website that lets people find your pack or your Sea Scout ship or your venturing crew or your Scouts BSA troop.
Real quick,
Yeah.
just going back one quick second, you'd mentioned special needs. There was a newsletter that went out this week for Black Feather. If you look on it, you'll see there's an article, and what's the name of the article is, but it's on special needs. It was written by Ross Billings.
And he was our district chair. And scroll down, and I do have some shooting sports stuff if you want to sign up to help out with that. Let's scroll down. OA at the lodge level, which is the council level. Elections, the calendar. You can keep going, that's fine. Venture crews in the council level. Troop stuff at the council level, including our scout camp, McNeil Scout Ranch at Peaceful Valley. Other links, merit badge counselor information, PACs, stuff for PACs, including day camp. You saw that on the slide deck tonight. Keep going. All right. And finally, Black Feather District. So district website, the calendar that we keep talking about, which is amazing. Thank you, Jared, for maintaining it. The dinner that's coming up, we'll add that May 8th date, and the, what's it called? Something mug or black mug or what is it? Black Pug. We'll add that to this calendar. IELTS training, which you saw, we'll add the links to that along with Baloo. I had a link for that up above, or I guess down below. Keep going. I think that's almost it. Awesome. So before I go, I'm almost at my time. Did anybody have any questions or anything that I should add that's not on there? Go ahead.
One thing I've been unable to find, 5-star or whatever the program is, I've been unable to find the STAR program that replaced the JTE.
I will add that. I'll work with.
I'll look for that. I couldn't find it on the council website.
I will look for the link. I'll work with V, and we'll get that on there. That's great. This is why I want to know. Anything else I'm missing or that you guys know about that everybody should know about and I didn't include tonight? Okay. Well, thank you all. Please go to blackfeatherdistrict@gmail.com if you have something you think of later to add, and go there and look for resources. I got a lot. I've got everything for everybody there. So thank you guys so much. Have a great night.
Yeah, I found the path.
Okay. It's all good. It's all good. Thank you.
Greg.
So we are going to leave the Scout BSA in here. If you are involved with a unit, I'd like you to stay. If you have sidebar conversations, do that after we open up initially. I have a couple quick things just for Scouts, just for Scouts BSA. And if you are the Cubbies, we're going to have you go down over here, and you will hear all about fall or spring recruitment with Jared, and he's already gone there. So, hadn't he? Yes. So go ahead and break out, and thank you all for being here, and especially our new people that came tonight. Thank you. Yeah.
I'm looking to fill this trek to 12. You can contact me, Carl, K-A-R-L, at ClassTech, KLASSTEK.com. And it is posted in the Philmont Trek openings section. If females want to come, we would need 2 female leaders and 2 female scouts. So I don't know if you're with a female unit. Okay, so that would work. We could do, but we'd need 2 leaders and 2 scouts to do a female crew. 13 and completed 8th grade. Yes.
Thank you, Carl. Appreciate that. 361 is his, okay.
Normally, I don't wear a microphone. I just speak loudly, so we'll see how this works. So tonight's theme is every scout deserves a trained leader. Who's heard that phrase? Okay. Who said it? Yes. So, yes, I do say it all the time. So there are 2 main reasons to be fully trained. When I think of a leader who is not current on training within the past year or 2, they generally fall into 2 categories. Either they're the person who is so new, they don't know what they're doing, and they're trying to recreate the wheel, and then they burn out, and then nobody has any fun, especially the kids. They didn't know that National already has all of these resources worked out and has classes for you. Or the other type, this is how we did it in my day. Well,
we've always done it this way.
Things have changed.
This is the way we did it when I was a scout. Guess what? It's changed.
Guess what? It's changed in the last year.
Yeah.
So, do you know anybody? Are you yourself in one of those categories? It's best to get the training done. The youth deserve it. If you don't know what resources are out there, you're doing a disservice to your scouts. And if you're using really old rules that maybe date back to when you were a Cub Scout, I guarantee those rules have changed. You're also doing a disservice to your youth by using those old rules. So there are a lot of different types of training that you can get, and I'm wearing all of the ones I currently have, about half of which aren't offered anymore. There's the YPT, which, hey, you know, maybe we could get more people to do YPT if we actually had some bling for it. Alberto, think about that one.
Yes, that is the bling.
Okay, I'll give you that one. I will give you that one. So then we have, if you're on the Cub side, there is Blue, and there's an online portion to that. There is unit leader specific training, so you have for the Cub Master, there's Den leader training, there's committee chair, there's committee member. Any job you can have, there's training online. If you want to do the training in person, ask your DE when that kind of training might be coming up, because maybe enough people have said, hey, Evie, I want to do this training in person again like we used to. Then maybe we can do that. Blue is in person. For the Scouts BSA side, or we're past February, we're now Scouting America? Yes, Scouting America. Tells you where I think I am year-wise. So for the Scouting America side, we again have committee chair, committee member, scoutmaster, assistant scoutmaster is all still under scoutmaster, and every kind of position you can think of is in the committee member training. And then we have IOLs, which think of it as what you need to know to be able to get your scouts up to first class. That's pretty much what we cover, what you have to do, what you have to know to be able to help them. So what other kind of trainings would you like to see? Okay. So is there a training you're going, I wish I knew how to do this, because I bet we know the website for it.
Got it. So the last time we had a University of Scouting, good old 2019, I believe.
18.
Maybe then, yeah, sure. You know, I spent some time in, they had some programs for special needs at that point that were, I think, very helpful. It's too bad we don't have those opportunities anymore.
Isn't there a rumor of University of Scouting?
To the University of Scouting program in
November.
November.
Excellent. I know that he's telling the truth on that one.
I'm super excited. We're going to have a whole bunch of people there.
Okay, everybody, write down in your phones, November,
What's the date?
University of Scouting. That's a chance. It's kind of like a merit badge college, but for classes instead of merit badges.
Fantastic.
Oh,
It's fun.
yes.
I taught one like on how to do all these different things. It was one of the ones I taught. But I went to one on orienteering, and it was led by a guy who helped set up with an Eagle Scout candidate the orienteering course at Great Big Lake.
I taught one on how to avoid being a scouting widow or widower, and then you had one on moulage taught by a 15-year-old?
15 one year and 16 the next.
Yes.
He aged.
So what else would you like to see training in? You name it, we may know where it's at. There might be something you don't have training on. What do you think somebody else in this room might want training on? Well, what might someone else want? Yeah, so like I have...
Presentation skills.
Presentation skills, okay. For youth, that's going to be nail. And for adults, that would be starting 6 hours into your first wood badge course. But yeah, which is teacher, it's training the trainer.
How about this one? Incorporating jokes in your presentation.
I think you might have actually been to one of our roundtable sessions that we've taught.
I think you're incorporating them just fine. Said, you stay here. I'm going to go on ahead.
Yeah, we used to do run-ons to break it up. Yes. Yes.
Successful recruiting in a rural area where everybody doesn't want to join Scouts.
Evie?
How are you? Good. I've been talking to you, Evie, and Asher about it, but that's where we can use.
See that the training is who to ask.
So I grew up in rural West Texas, middle of nowhere. Nearest town was 45 minutes away, so I've grown up doing this. So are we looking for how do you recruit, like in general, to a unit, to a pack or a troop, or are we looking how to get it bigger from like the ground up as if you're restarting? Because that's a very different mentality. Okay. So as someone who grew up in rural West Texas, I'm going to tell you the most unconventional thing you've ever heard in your life. Start with a crew. And the reason I say that is as a kid who grew up in rural West Texas, there is nothing Cub Scouts has to offer those kids. I say this as respectfully as I can. They're born with a BB gun. The moment they come out the womb, they get their first 22. By the time they're 6, they have a 30-30 in their hands. By the time they're 9, they go camping on the weekend whenever they want. They go kayaking whenever they want. They shoot bows and arrows whenever they want. They ride horses whenever they want. Without supervision, 90% of the time, once they know how to do it, what do we have to offer? We don't, right? But parents love being sold. Y'all are parents. It's so much easier to believe in something for your kids when you can see that it works in front of your own eyes, right? So what I have found is if you will start with a crew, since a crew is a true choose your own adventure program for our older youth and make a crew successful, the parents will see the success and go, wait a minute, you're telling me if my kids join Scouts now, that's what they're going to be doing whatever they want to do? Yeah, Absolutely. And then they'll go, well, hey, let's get them started now then. I have seen that work in small towns more often than not. 80% of the times I've tried that, it has been successful. It's hard to sell something in front of your eyes and say your kids need this when a parent can go, yeah, but we already do all of that whenever we want and it doesn't cost us anything. I just turn the kids loose in the backyard in the pasture and let them get after it. It's really hard for us to sell it. So my advice is start with the crew and work backwards.
Coming off of that, is there crew leader specific training?
Yeah, there's position-specific training for every single position that there is.
Anything you can imagine, there's training for. There's often multiple types of training. You can also do training that is online. Pikes Peak is now who? I think, yeah, Gateway to the Rockies. They often have their courses on Zoom. You don't have to make the drive down there. You don't have to do training that is just in our council. Go online, find it anywhere you can. Sometimes training is more fun when there's multiple people. Plan it with a bunch of adults, yes.
I have one for you.
Okay.
But, before I do, I don't remember if you mentioned this, but the other thing to think about with all this training is if you're the unit leader, assume you're not going to be the unit leader forever. I mean, maybe for a number of years, but not forever. And what's great about this is this training can help other people do what you do so you can eventually have a successor. And they know that, oh, I don't have to have grown up in scouting to know all this stuff, to be able to be a unit leader, to be a cub master, a troop scoutmaster, etc. So what about boating safety? Is there anything we could do about learning boating safety?
Well, yes. You could also contact JT with the Sea Scout ship that's up north, or check online.
Yes, but also April 5th, 2025, from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., there is a course that we're putting on, and it's available on, it's on Double Knot. I don't know if it's also on Black Knot, but there's a link on the documentation.
You know, speaking of that sort of training, that's at CAP, right?
It might be in a
Oh, might be. That might even be better. There's also training that your youth can do at CAP. A lot of it is called merit badges, but that still is a form of training. We have so many resources here.
And you can just do a fun event as well, and we've done that before. I did a ham radio thing for an event they did at CAP a couple weeks ago, but there's a lot of great resources, and there's links to that in the documentation.
You know, we had our girl troop do an overnight there, so prior to bed, they got to get themselves nice and tired by climbing. It was like 2-3 hours of climbing. It was wonderful. They slept so well.
Christine,
where would you find out about something like this? Roundtable.
My other things on recruiting in a rural community is the best way to make a PAC function is to make sure your chartered organization is something that is integral to your community, whether that being your school's PTA, PTO, or the largest church in town, where you can work that in with the youth group for membership in there, or if your town has a very active Rotary or Lions Club, a community service group that is very noticed by the community, working with them and doing community service projects is always great. The nice thing about small towns is we take care of each other out there. So that's a great way to constantly being in front of people. In small towns, use your Facebook, work with the local newspaper. People can't know you're there if they don't know you're there. And this goes for everybody on that one. For troops, find something that those kids can't do on average just for funsies. It might cost a little bit extra, but I'd bring them to town and go do the state-of-the-art sandbox VR that we have in Lone Tree. You know how that applies to Scouts? We're one of the only organizations out there where you can get a video game design merit badge sitting down with somebody in that industry to teach you how to do that. Video games are bigger than ever. There's a drone park you could take the kids to for a fun open house event where they could bring their friends.
I'm looking forward to the BMX.
Yeah, you could bring them to the BMX park since that's for all ages and fun. I've heard of troops taking for a recruiting event, going to some of the indoor skydiving facilities like iFly and having them bring their friends in there for that.
Are we sure that that is within the Guide to Safe Scouting?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Finally, something that's not outlawed.
I know, it's crazy. And then rock climbing. We have an incredible partnership with Ubergrippen that we've been working on for the last year. It is live. Scouts get a discount if that's something you want to use.
Let's say I want to take my crew climbing. Is there a training that I have to have?
Yeah, absolutely.
Climb on safely?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Oh, they actually have one there?
We do. That's something we set up. And if y'all have questions on YPT trained, merit badge counselor trained, everything you need for it, they paid for it. That's something Ubergrippen is going to continue with our council for the next few years. If y'all have questions on how to get in contact with the people at Ubergrippen for these scout discounts, reach out to your other DE, Asher Lavallee. He has been the one to help negotiate and make that a success. Major kudos to Asher.
Okay, that is a good thing to know, not there on Saturdays.
Somewhere around here, there is also an indoor scuba place where you don't have to be scuba certified. They give you a crash course for like 15, 20 minutes. That's something your average kid out in the country has never done. That's something most teenagers haven't done unless they've been blessed with parents with money or wonderful circumstances to be able to do it. I should know. I used to teach it.
They are part of JT's ship.
Yeah, so that's also a great thing you can use as a recruiting event because how many of your kids have done that? How many kids in their school have probably done that? They can easily invite their friends to something like that, and they go, yeah, that sounds really cool. And then you can be like, hey, guess what? We can do this all the time in Scouts.
Speaking of these high adventure things, you know, I was wondering, sweetheart, is there any training that, as an adult, that I need to be able to take my kids to Swamp Base?
Yes, there is.
What is it?
The alligator hunting merit badge. Thank you.
Well, actually,
I'm just kidding.
she is actually a very good hunter.
Yes. Well, you have to have, actually, for any of the high adventure bases, you have to have your wilderness first aid, which there are many.
The Ernsts offer one. Aren't we going to be offering one?
It comes up quite often, and it's usually.
Yeah.
Yeah, BSC, that's the Emergency Services Committee. They have that one and make that one available. They also have several others, including Stop the Bleed, which is quite a good training.
I love Stop the Bleed.
They have other trainings as well that go through, so including ham radio and.
So it's the ESC meets the first Wednesday of the month. And so online, in person, so even more training. Hey, there might be a day each week we aren't doing training.
Chris, you know a lot, so maybe you can help answer. We have 2 questions here in the back with people who you might can answer.
Yes.
Okay, I know that there's a training for committee members.
Yes.
On how to be a committee member.
Yes.
Is there a training on how to be a good committee?
Yes, there is. Yeah, it's called the Committee Challenge. It hasn't been offered in a long time. It's fantastic.
Can you make note that, oh no, I need my training people. I think that's something that we should offer.
It's done at a unit level with a committee. Unit commissioner will come in, maybe run it, but it's fantastic. Take a couple hours in the afternoon. Everybody gets a real clear idea what their job's supposed to be and how to come together as a functioning committee.
So we're not an odd number of cogs hooked together and not moving.
Get to the performing. Yeah. What?
And then also remember, if you are struggling to get leaders, technically parents don't have a vote on the program unless they are a registered member of the committee. Technically, that's how the rules work. So if you are struggling to get leaders involved and you have parents who want to be involved, have them join. Start as a member of committee. Then they get a say in the program their youth are in. Now you have a registered leader and you can yank them into more things.
Here's maybe a wrinkle to that
Yes.
for the maybe uncooperative committee with the Guide to Safe Scouting. Everyone who goes on an overnight campout needs to be a registered leader. So we've got a wealth of registered leaders, but not a bunch of participating leaders, but now they're all part of the committee.
Okay, so too big of a committee to really be functional.
Instead of having them register as committee member, have them register as unit scout or reserve. Which is like it's a position that doesn't have any responsibilities.
Does that count for overnight camping?
Unit scout or reserve may be disappearing because it has been abused by units all across the country and not being used for its intended purpose. To avoid actually having responsibility as an adult, technically unit scout or reserve people should not be the people in charge of taking youth on an overnight camping outing because they are not ILS trained, as you're supposed to have a couple registered leaders be in order to take them overnight. And that has led to some serious YPT incidents where then your leaders are not actually trained for it, it is not liable, and then that becomes a massive problem should someone be hurt. The purpose of Unit Scout or Reserve is to have someone registered who plans within the next 12 months get trained and become an active leader in the unit. If someone is sitting in Unit Scout or Reserve for more than a year at it, it looks and raises as a red flag when it comes to re-charter, and you will start to see people drop off at charter because that is not the intended idea of Unit Scout or Reserve. It is supposed to be a temporary position for people that intend to get trained and become a registered leader who is active and participate in the unit within the next 12 months. That is its intended purpose. So if you are going to use it, please use it as its intended purpose, or else it will more than likely be going away.
I'm glad I could break the meeting. Thank you.
Yes, that's quite all right. What is the training you think somebody here might want?
What? You stand in the back.
You're standing in the back, and I happen to know you've done a lot of training. You've heard all of the ideas.
So I don't know. I think one of the things that a lot of the adults don't know how to do that would be beneficial to the scouts is they actually learned how to do stuff like lashings and knots and stuff like that. Because
take aisles.
I've taken aisles. I've done wood badge. Come on.
Yes, but that's where you learn to do the lashings.
But a lot of the people don't actually do aisles or whatever. I don't know. But you're right. You do learn that.
That's the thing.
But the thing is, you learn the very basics. You don't actually learn how to, you learn how to make a tripod.
Well, if you hang around till after the course is
if you did a
finished,
cool course
we'll hang out with you.
Where you actually built something really neat as a part of that course, I think people would be interested. I don't know.
Recommend it to our training. He takes one.
That would be a great course for the university.
Yeah, universities.
Yes.
That's exactly what I was thinking too.
Yeah. Chris will be happy to
I'll be
co-teach
there.
it.
I'd be happy to be there.
Yeah, Chris will co-teach that. So while I was looking at this young man that has a lot of bling, I remembered there's one place I haven't done any training, Philmont, because of the cost. But there is training that can be done there.
There's the
Somebody tell
Philmont
me what
Leadership
it
Challenge.
is? Philmont Leadership.
Philmont Leadership Challenge. They have also the same thing at Summit and I think down at Seabase too.
Oh, yeah.
But of course, Philmont's closer. I'm not exactly entirely sure.
I can do it. Yeah.
Okay.
So Philmont Leadership Challenge, which I have not done yet, but friends of mine have, including Bill Kohler, our district commissioner. It's sort of like Wood Badge at Philmont. It's the next step. That's perfect. And what you can do is you attend, and then you go back and you staff, and then I think there's a special knot that you get when you have other people come as well. I haven't done it yet. I'd like to do some training at Philmont. Also, there's role-based training. So commissioners, there's training for you there.
Well, I was going to let you talk about how well your commissioner college went last month.
Oh, yeah. So we appreciate commissioners that help their units. Unit commissioners help our troops and our PACs and our crews. We put on training right here. Thank you, Andrew, again, for letting us meet here, called the Commissioner Science College. And it was specifically on how to be a unit commissioner, how to do other commissioner stuff, and how to support scouting. And we will do that again probably the same month, I think, but I need to kind of work that out. It was the second week of February, so maybe 2026. But I got to follow up with some people about the venue, and we'll go from there. But that was some good training, and it was inexpensive and fun, and we fed you.
Yes, and it was a great way to spend a Saturday.
Awesome.
So we're getting near the time.
All right.
Yes.
So what about communications at remote locations where cell phones don't work? That might be a good topic to cover. I don't know.
Oh, I think, isn't that something that is part of the remote and wilderness first aid training?
I don't know.
And maybe touched on with the ham radio?
Yeah.
We kind of talk about some of that with ham radio.
So if you're in the backcountry, first of all, you need the wilderness training, the wilderness first aid training, because you may be too far from emergency first aid. But the other thing is we do talk about using ham radios, and we have an extensively linked repeater system throughout Colorado where you might be able to reach out for help. Traditionally, you really can't use a ham radio to key up unless it's an emergency, life or limb. But you know what? We're also going to try to put on some training to get people their ham licenses. So if you want to plug into that, happy to have you do it.
If you're worrying about how to get transported out, you're at the life or limb.
I understand, but
so
the
that
FCC
sort of
is funny about, like, you can't just be like, oh, I'm going to be 10 minutes late. You know what I mean? You got to.
So that sort of thing you would find out about at the monthly ESC.
Yeah, that's fine. It's a good place.
Wednesdays.
And I made a note to add that to the online resources as well. I don't know if I have a link there, but they have a link to training and other stuff.
Wayne, do you have anything to add as
I have something for the ham discussion. Is the first time you use a complex radio device, should that be in an emergency?
I would think no. I'd want to have some
I think you would want to
practice.
know how to use. I mean, that's another benefit of getting the license is you will learn how to use the device if you ever need it. They can be quite complicated.
Yes, and we kind of talked about that too with if we do the training is providing inexpensive radios that are HTs and the knowledge to set them up, because 100% that's not the time we want to see. Oh, is this how I hit the repeater? No, you want to make sure. Or is this how we hit the emergency frequency?
And all the different areas in the state have different repeater frequencies and stuff, so you need the repeater information for where you're going, so that falls into your outing planning and other stuff. However, places like Philmont say don't even bother with bringing the radio because they don't have repeaters, that you can't reach anything, and they're not on the camp service.
Well, don't you usually have somebody with your crew? Yeah, just at the start. Oh, okay.
So I was asking if you have somebody with you, and Randy said no, just at the start.
Well, one thing that ECS could think about is, or ESC could think about, is the question about other forms of communication, like REI. I think will let you rent a spot or an inReach that would let you have an SOS capability in the backcountry. So maybe a session that talks about that kind of thing would be good.
That's perfect.
It's a shame Brad's not here to be writing all this down. So you'll give him these notes?
Another cool thing, I don't know if there's a training for it, but if you have a cell phone made in the last couple of years, it may have some basic satellite messaging or SOS services in it. Satellite-based, not cell-based.
Definitely worth throwing that into the presentation. So you're thinking, okay, I just heard 35 minutes worth of classes. Why in the world do I want to give up my free time for all these classes? So why do they want to give up their free time?
It's a secret, so don't tell anyone. Okay, tell everybody, actually. But It makes your life easier. Really, seriously. I hear it, I've heard it before of, well, I don't want to waste time on training because I'd rather just spend time with youth. Well, that's great idea. That's a nice concept, but spending the couple hours, the weekend, whatever it happens to be, depending on the training, to get that training makes it so much easier for you to interact, for the scouts to have fun, and you know what you're doing, and you know the old saying of, you learn best from your mistakes. It's even better when you learn from someone else's mistakes, and they tell you about it, and so you don't have to make those mistakes. Mistakes, trust me, scouting has been around for 15 years now? The mistakes have all pretty much been made. At least most of them that you can possibly make have been made by someone at some point, and most of them have gotten back into the training at some point. So it makes it so much easier, and that way you have more fun.
And if you're having fun, the youth are having fun. And if you're not having fun,
the youth
not having fun. And then you've kind of really ruined the whole point of these things. So if you have any other ideas of training you would like to see, please email anybody that's on Roundtable staff.
Yeah, if you want a training, if you think, hey, this would be a really great thing, let your Roundtable staff know. We're always looking for ideas and want to give you the training and the information that you want. So if you have something specific that you want, you tell us and we'll put it on the schedule. And I'm not kidding. We've done it many times.
Chris and Christine's email, mine, Randy, whoever, blackfeatherdistrict@gmail.com.
Okay, so
Email blackfeatherdistrict@gmail.com with any questions.
So that is, every scout deserves a trained leader. And Evie asked for a couple minutes for DE.
Just before we all get out of here tonight, I just want to let everybody know International Women's Day was March 8th, which is huge in scouting, particularly in our council and our district. We have a larger percent of female Eagle Scouts than the average is across the United States. That is incredible. As a district, 20% of our youth membership in the Cub Scout program is female. That is incredibly large. That means 1/5 of our Cub Scout populace are girls. Scouting has always been ran by women at every level, and now we have girls fully in at every level, and they are changing the program, and it is incredible. But we do not have 1/5 of our troops as girls' troops to accommodate and make sure those youth get to continue in the program and that they're not disposable membership, right, the moment they graduate from the Cub Scout program. So if your chartered organization only has a traditional boys unit at this current time, and you have not considered, hey, we should have a girls' troop, you absolutely should. It can only do nothing but double your potential amount of leadership and double the amount of scouts that you have there in your area. I can tell you during recruitment season, 2/3 of the kids coming to recruitment nights for Cub Scouts are girls and their parents right now. If you are not a family pack and if you are not open to having a girls' troop at your charter and you want scouting to continue, please highly reconsider, because these girls are changing the program. They are showing up, they are putting in the work, and unless we have troops to make sure they can continue their program, they become disposable membership, and no youth in our program is disposable. The end of this month ends on the 31st with Trans Day of Visibility. I know that a lot of you leaders might have a trans youth in your older youth program, a lot of your crews. This is something to keep in mind when you travel to other states. If you have a trans leader or trans youth, they cannot currently travel safely to sea base because just going in Florida is a death sentence. Simply for using the restroom as a trans person in Florida, someone can call the police on you, say you were there, and then you will be jailed. And that is not fair to put a youth or leader involved in at. So please keep these things in mind when you are planning your high adventure trips, that although it might be something your youth want to do, some of our states currently are not safe to take our youth to and have our fellow leaders go with us in. So as y'all head out on your travels tonight and you drive home safely, please keep that in mind as you decide to drive to other summer camps and fly to other summer camps across the United States, that we always want to make sure all of our youth are safe in scouting everywhere we go.
Okay. I want to go back for a second. You mentioned the committee challenge. Yeah. So I'd like you to send me that. And then what we will do is we'll look at it for your troop. I live in that area. I will see what I can do to help you out with that. If I can't do it, I'm looking at people in this room that know that they can do it too. So between us, we can help you with that as commissioners.
If I might add, it isn't just troop committees, so if you have a friend in the other room, the PAC committee isn't operating at 120%. Amazing. It is a great opportunity just to kind of reset.
Okay.
Material is probably 10 years old. Acknowledge that and understand. A few things maybe we'll have to think about, but in general, it's a good way to drive your committee to performance.
Okay. Randy.
Just the committee challenge was actually replaced by the committee training. Committee training and not be online. Yes, so all that networking or even the interactions are going on. Yeah, it's unfortunate. I mean, they try to fulfill them through videos to show.
So.
Thank you for that comment. Yeah, the academic aspect probably is there.
So the academic aspect is there online, but there might be something here, Randy. Just for the thing.
If your committee chair or scoutmaster is not trained, they need to get done, right?
100%.
Yeah, and merit badge, there's training for merit badge counselors as well, right?
Yes.
And so committee chairs and committee members, and it's only a few hours, and I think it really makes a difference. Because if you don't know the program well enough, or you only think you know the program, it's really worthwhile to get trained, and you really shouldn't have. We've never been able to get to the point on the training committee to say you can't recharter unless your unit leaders are trained. We'd like to get there, but it's important for units to have trained leaders, as you guys were saying. So
yeah.
Well, as Baby Powell said,
yep.
every scout deserves a trained leader.
Yep. So anyway,
Thank
so thanks. Some of our best scouts, we have a few new Eagle Scouts this year, two of them which are girls that we're working on in our week that are phenomenal. So I do echo the fact that we should be working with those youth. With that, I want to thank you all for coming tonight, especially you and Miranda. Again, congrats. So we appreciate you being here tonight. We do a traditional closing, so if you could all stand. And I always mess it up.
That's okay. Dawson taught me.
Dawson taught you, so you can do it where we're at. I mean, so. May the great Scoutmaster of all Scoutmasters
be with us and guide us to the
repeat after me. May the great Scoutmaster of all Scouts be with us and guide us until we meet again. Have a great week. What's left of it, a better weekend since there's only one day left of it, of the week. So enjoy and thank you all.
And thank you for coming around.